Okay, my name is Gurchan Singh and I'm a human rights activist. The reality of food shortages, what is being set up in Europe is the same what they done in Africa and the same what they done in Asia. The situation is they're deliberately destroying food in transportation and warehouses. The situation is the food is ready. They have both the food from the farmers is rotting in the warehouses and in the trucks. And the cover story they are selling the world is that there is shortage of drivers and secondly for the laborers. That is complete bullshit. The idea is simple. They want to starve you to death. And I want to make this clear to everybody. If you let them lock you down again, they're going to use the same propaganda they used in Africa and the same they used in Asia. They rot and destroy all the food crops, and what you're going to see is mass shortages of food in your warehouses and you would be locked down. So
all right, before we get started, as always, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Also double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to all the brothers out there. And you just heard that, Elamite talking about pretty much, these shortages, in the supply chain is actually man-made, all right? And we've seen, several videos on this, heard people, that are insiders, they've talked about this, numerous of times. And, that's just another example, okay? They'll sit there, these elites, all right? Which is the elites of Esau, Edom, the ones who ruled this world. They'll use particular events, all right, to narrate, this story that they have, this agenda basically, and guide it, the way that they want it to be, guided pretty much, all right. And they're gonna use like several things, saying that, all right, you have attacks on the gas supplies, all right. That's the reason why truckers can't basically transport the goods, all right. Then they can say, oh, there's particular diseases out there that's hindering the transportation of the goods or the production of goods, all right. So on and so forth, right? Yeah, you can have they'll say, oh yeah, we have truckers striking, they'll say all these things, okay, in order, to have their agenda fulfilled, all right, but that's all, biblical prophecy, okay. We know that Esau, all right, was going to be used, all right, to basically control this world, so to speak, all right. He's that vessel right now. And look, in the scriptures, which we'll get in a moment, it talks about what? How the storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Okay? All right? But we're going to start off with this one. This is Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity. All right? And can you get that definition for iniquity? Yeah. Or devise, Salakia?
This is the word for devise.
Strong's H2803. Chashav.
Yeah, chashab, which means to think, plan, esteem, calculate, invent, make a judgment, imagine, count.
So he calculates these things, all right? Meaning he plans it, thoroughly, okay? You see, Esau, before he actually executes, these particular agendas that he has out here, okay? He thinks about it thoroughly, the ins and outs of things. He does a thing called what is that? They have like lab studies, and they have all these tests, all right? They see the basically they'll push out a particular thing, and then they what's the word I'm looking for? They observe, okay, the people's reaction,
Field studies?
Yeah, field studies, there we go. All right. So that's what they do. So then when they really so they'll do like a minor event first, and then they'll study everything, and then afterwards they'll do what? The actual, major event. All right, because now they know, like, okay, X amount of people are going to do this, X amount of people are going to do that, and let's see what happens now. Let's get this going. All right, but this guy, he thoroughly does all this stuff. He thinks about it. All right, so woe to them, which means woe means to be, basically the destruction. So destruction to them that devise iniquity. And so at the end of it all, Esau is going to get punished for all these wicked works, okay? And work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And ultimately, the Lord's allowing this to happen because this is the time of Esau's rulership, all right? The earth was given to the hands of the wicked. This is Esau's reign right now. And the Lord's using Esau, all right, to actually punish the people, in particular the Israelites, okay? But also the whole world, man. All right? Because the Lord's going to use Esau to what? Slay a lot of people. And the reason why he's going to allow that is because of all the wickedness that these people do. Okay? Verse 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So if you have anything that's of benefit to him, basically the natural resources, at some point he's going to raid your stuff, man. He's been doing that forever. And see what he does now is he has all these like little proxy wars, and he's got all these false flag events that occur, so then he can have a justification into going into a particular land. Okay, so then he can do what? Steal their resources and their and their goods in that area. And that's what he's trying to do out there in the Middle East right now. In particular, the two countries is what? Syria and Iran. They really want to get those lands, because if they do, they could control, the flow of, in particular, what? The oil. And there's other things in those lands too, but the main thing is what? That oil. All right. I'm gonna keep reading. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go heartily, for this time is evil. And eventually Esau is going to get punished for, like I said, really what the scriptures say, for his wickedness. Mm-hmm. And he can't plead, he can't cry, okay? He can't beg, he can't, barter his way out of it. It is what it is. That's the judgment that is written. All right? You got something out? I'll get it.
Yeah, this is Sirach chapter 27.
Sirach 27 and what, Ak?
Verse 22.
27 and 22. All right, you got it, Ak.
It says, he that winketh with the eyes worketh evil. He that knoweth him will depart from him. Talking about a wise man, they know when this guy is being deceitful. The leaders that the elites have set up, from Biden to even the other world leaders, when you're being fooled by these guys, if you read these scriptures, man. And if you've been seeing the same, it's the same thing that's been on record. Time and time again, natural disaster that they create, then they have a solution, or they got this set up to where they're trying to kill off a bunch of people, in which this has already been reported that in many books, many whistleblowers, that there's gonna come a time to where they was gonna try to cut nations off, and that's the reason why they're trying to lock down every land. The guy that was just on screen, he was in the UK, man, and what he said, this is the same thing that they did in Africa. It's the same thing that they're doing everywhere, and it's the same thing that's coming to America. That they're you see things in short supply. You see a lot of trucks not running. Gas is starting to go up.
Oh, they have well, another thing that they're doing too is they're saying that there's a shortage in these microchips. So basically, these cars can't run now because all the modern day cars run on these microchips.
Right. Which also goes to the agriculture farming equipment.
Yep.
Which is just another excuse. They told most of these farmers to destroy some of their crops, so it would have been a while before most of these things would have actually hit. But it's like those what do you call it? Those magi that was in Egypt. When the Lord was sitting in place, they were sitting in place too, jacking up their own shit. And that's what Esau is doing, man. He's jacking up his own shit, thinking that he can come back from it, that he can destroy off half of humanity, and there'll be a balance with that sacrifice of him doing that. Well, it's not going to be a sacrifice for that, or it's not going to be a reaping reward for him in doing that. It says, when thou art present, he will speak sweetly, and will admire thy words with the last. He will riz thee with his mouth, and slander thy sayings, man. You know, which is what this guy is doing. You know, he'll act like he's for the people, but then he'll turn around and anybody that's not for him, or not with his agenda of any parts of the NWO, whether it be with the jab, he'll demonize you and make it seem like you're in the wrong for not taking what he said. But then again, he said, "Oh well, this is for you. This is for that." Well, you should really ostracize these people. Or you should really snitch on certain family members that don't want to do as we said. You know, already getting into the minds of these sheeple, you know, to be on his side. But he's acting like he's coming in a cool way, man. Somebody who's actually for your good, they don't have to do nothing like that, man. Because the thing is, if truth be told, the proof will speak for itself. You know, you wouldn't have to push people to get these things. You wouldn't have to tell these people to demonize other people. You know, if there was a so-called free country, you know, you wouldn't have these things going.
Can I get this real quick for you? This is Daniel chapter 8, verse 24. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And that's going back to what? The earth being given to the hands of the wicked. Okay? That ultimately the Heavenly Father set him up. And he shall destroy wonderfully. See, he's going to destroy wonderfully. He's going to get a lot of people, man. Hey, what does it say? There's going to be dead bodies, you know, all over. I forgot how it's worded exactly, but there's going to be death everywhere, you know. And the Lord's going to use Esau as that tool to punish the people. And I'm going to keep reading. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper, and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. All right, because ultimately, the reason why the Lord is using Esau is to actually punish us, the Israelites, okay? Because we disobeyed him. Verse 25, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And that policy is talking about his laws, okay? You know, the agenda that he pushes, okay? And it says, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. That's the main thing, by that peace. Because that's what he always comes with. Oh, you know, do this, you know, or do that. It's going to, you know, be a benefit to you, your family, the society as a whole. But in reality, it's there to destroy you. And it's numerous things, okay? Just follow me and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
But this guy's, he's leading you to, you know, basically leading you to that cliff so he can push you off of it. You know? And it says, he shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. And that basically links up with that Micah 3:3. All right? He's going to have, that goes into the Lord, him trying to fight the Lord, all right, Yahweh Shai, and he's going to lose. And when he loses, what's going to happen? That Micah 3:3, okay? He's going to have to deal with that punishment, because these Edomites are going to have to, you know, deal with hardcore slavery, you know? All right? But, did you have something?
Yeah, real quick, before I go back to the other scripture. This is Jeremiah 25:32.
Jeremiah 25, you said 32? Jeremiah, you can read it out.
It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation. Like we said, it's going to be all over the world. You know, this isn't just happening in this place or in that place. And yes, it's coming to this place as well. You know, America's going to get this work as well. It says, a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. And the slain of the Lord Yahweh shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. That's how many dead bodies is going to be out here. And then eventually, America is going to be nuked. So there's not going to be any more life in it far as man. You know, just wild beasts, man.
Yep. That's right. So that's what's coming. And the Lord's going to use Esau as that vessel to do these things. And the Lord's going to get, he's going to get busy himself too. You know, the angels. All right, but we know that Esau is that, you know, that vessel, that tool as well. But what'd you have? Sirach 27, you said?
Verse
All right.
24.
Sirach 27 and 24. All right, you can keep reading that.
Yeah, it says, I have hated many things, but nothing like him, for the Lord will hate him. Whoso casteth a stone on high, casteth it on his own head, and a deceitful stroke shall make wounds. So all this madness that this guy is doing behind closed doors, this watching, this planning, well, the Lord's been watching and planning since before he even was made, man. The Lord already knew about this. It says, whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, he that setteth a trap shall be taken therein.
And can I say this? All these things that Esau is creating, it's gonna bite him in his, his behind, so to speak. He's not. I remember hearing this from the elder brother out here in Chicago, Ratazawani or Saint Benji. Okay, he said that Esau, he's gonna create this chaos, right? But the chaos is gonna get so out of control that he's gonna it's gonna basically bite him in the ass. It's gonna get him. He's not gonna be able to control it, to contain it. And that's what's coming. All this stuff is actually gonna be for his downfall. They think that we're gonna have these retreats where we can hide in the caves and in the mountains. We're gonna have cities in there, or cities in the in space, cities in the in the water, and we're gonna basically avoid all this stuff. No, man, that's gonna fail. Your underground cities, they're gonna fail, man. All this stuff is gonna come upon you, and if you do get spared, okay, the only reason why you got spared is so you can go into slavery.
Pretty much.
That's it.
It says, verse 27, it says, he that worketh mischief, verse 26, it says, whoso diggeth the pit shall fall therein, and he that setteth the trap shall be taken therein. He that worketh mischief, it shall fall upon him. And this is a mischief, a mischief, man. This guy is setting up a leadership and organizing things that are detrimental for the people and not for their benefits. Whereas the law, that's contrary to how the Lord would set things up, which is supposed to be for the good of the people. But of course, the wicked, when they deny it, they destroy their own selves, man. That's the difference between Esau and the Lord, man. Esau is the wicked and the Lord is righteous. It says, he shall not know, it shall fall upon him, he shall not know whence it cometh. Mockery and reproach are from the proud. So all this wickedness comes from the proud. They make mockery and a reproach of those that speak up of the right things and set things in order on how the Lord wants them to be set. And oh yeah, that's not how the Lord wants things. That's out of balance, Esau. Like how it says in the book of Psalms, where it says that they will not hearken unto charmers charming, never so wisely. That we're actually telling this guy how things are supposed to be, giving him the warning that, okay, once you do this, the Lord is going to come jack you up for this. And he's like, nah, I'm going to do it anyway. Who are you? I'll just send a militia to destroy you, or I'll make you a reproach online. I'll cut down all your channels, man. Or I'll send these your own family members against you just by poisoning their minds. I might not get you, but I'll make your life a living hell so that you don't want to do the things that you do. All right? And it says, but vengeance as a lion shall lie in wait for them. And that's Yahushua at the door waiting on Esau, man. It says, they that rejoice at the fall of the righteous shall be taken in the snare, and anguish shall consume them before they die. Malice and wrath, even these are abominations, and the sinful man shall have them both. So the abomination is about to have the abomination, because that's what he put out. That's the balance of that, is that the Lord is not malice and wrath, but Esau is putting out maliciousness and wrath, so it's about to fall upon him.
Kind of got this, going back to the original statement the guy was making. All right, ultimately all this is prophecy, okay, and it's really to punish you people. Can you get It basically talks about the some of the plagues are famines. I think that's like in 2nd Ezra. But let me get this one. 2nd Ezra, I think it's like 2nd Ezra 15 maybe. Those are plagues from the Most High, you know?
Oh.
Hey, these famines are plagues from the Most High, ultimately to do what? Punish the wicked. But let me get this. This is 2nd Ezra 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And it said twice suddenly, okay? These places, you know, that you know, hold goods, they're suddenly going to be found empty. And that's because, one, the Lord ordained it, and two, the way Esau is operating, these things are gonna go away quickly. Hey, like how the guy said in that video, you have food rotting, okay? You know, that's one thing. All right. And you know, with the natural disasters happening, that's destroying, you know, a lot of crops. Okay, livestock. You know, there's not a lot of, you know, a lot of you know, goods in storage anymore. Okay. You have what else? You know, as the brother mentioned, you have farmers that were getting paid to destroy the crops, I think like a year or two back. Now all of a sudden, you know, with this whole these microchips being in shortages, you have farmers not being able to, you know, run their tractors and whatever equipment that they have, you know, to operate a farm. Now that's, you know, happening right now, and that's causing what? Lack of goods. So this is why the storehouses are suddenly they're being found empty. All right, I'm gonna keep reading verse 23. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. And that's what's eventually going to start happening too. You're going to start hearing those basically those war trumpets in a sense. All right. You know how when you have a tornado coming, everyone hears that siren. And when you hear that siren, your heart drops a little bit, because you know it's nothing but bad times coming. But we're going to be hearing that more and more. It's going to be like in The Purge. You know how when they have that that sound, you know, that warning sound? And you're going to be hearing that more. And that's going to make people afraid, because they're going to hear it so much. And it's not going to be a test like how it usually is. No, this is a live event. This is really happening. And that's going to, that's really going to, you know, scare people. And people are going to start losing it, man. You know, mentally. That's why it says in the scriptures, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. You see, these people, they don't have, you know, that wisdom and knowledge, okay? So they're going to be, you know, losing their minds. They're going to have no hope. They're going to be smoked out here, okay? Verse 24, and at that time shall friends fight one another like enemies. And the reason why, it tells you in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, the reason why they're going to do these things is because of the lack of food and for great tribulation, okay? And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand, and in 3 hours they shall not run. And that's what's going to happen eventually too. Even the water supply is going to get cut off, okay? And the reason why is because of how everything's connected, you know, to the grid, you know, that whole system, you know. And then, you know, with the you have, you know, all these like fresh bottled waters, right? That's a part of the supply chain. Eventually, that's going to get cut off too. You know. All right. You got that. What was it? 2nd Ezra.
2nd Ezra 15 and 49. Is that what it was? Yep.
All right, Con.
It says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood. You know, because a lot of these simps gonna die out. these beta males gonna die out.
Yep.
Poverty.
Yep.
The financial collapse is on the rise. So we all about to be in the same boat.
Yep. Hey, they said generation was it Z? I forgot the other generation. They're pretty much over 50. It's like 50% plus of them are living with their parents still.
Millennials.
And millennials and Generation Z. And these are people who are from the 20s and 30s, and it's the highest it's ever been for people of that age living at home with their parents still. And you even got people who are in their 40s and 50s that are moving back in with their parents as well too. This is that shows you that the world is in poverty. You have to move in with your parents. You're a grown adult. You might even have a kid or two. You're a grown adult, though, point being, and you got to move in with your parents again. You know, you're 35 years old. You know, you've been living, living by yourself for X amount of years, and now you got to move back in because of, because of your financial troubles. That's terrible, man. Hey, but that's a plague. That's a plague, man. All right?
Famine.
Yep, and that's what we're talking about right now. Famine. And this is a plague for you people, man. Keep going.
Sword.
Which, once there's no food, once there's the lack of jobs, what's going to happen? People are going to fight. People are going to rob each other. People are going to kill one another for natural resources.
Right. What did Yahweh Shah say? If these things be done in a green tree, how much more in the dry? It's still fruit on the tree, so to speak. It's almost barren, but it's still fruit on the tree. So how much more when it's nothing? People are gonna be trying to find what they can get.
Yep.
And they're gonna do whatever it is not just for their children, but how much more if they do have children, but for their own selves, because the scripture says that people in the last days will be lovers of their own selves, and the brotherly love shall wax cold. Meaning they're not gonna give a fuck that you have children, that you're a woman, that you're old, that any of that, that you're a fucking kid. Now that's just gonna fucking matter. It's gonna be, give me that. And pestilence,
diseases.
That's right.
Which that's gonna be on the rise.
Yeah.
Especially, you gotta think about it like this, with all the dead bodies and all that.
Right.
That's gonna lead to diseases. Because the dead bodies are, that's basically waste.
Yep.
That's a huge reason why, going back in history, the Black Plague got spread, because there were so many people dying from that disease that it spread even more, because they couldn't bury people in time. And what did they eventually have to start doing? Setting, basically they had bonfires of bodies.
But it says in the scriptures they're not even gonna bury them, so it's gonna be, let alone anybody thinking about burning them.
Oh, and then these people in 2021, they don't know how to do anything. You tell them to start a fire by themselves, 95% of the people can't do it. It's just facts.
Now it is gonna be bodies getting burnt to that extent. We're gonna smell some burning bodies, man.
It's gonna be like in what is it? Is it Song? Oh man, what was it? Songbird? Is that what it was called?
Songbird. But yeah, kind of Songbird.
That's
the recent one.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. They were burning people, man. He was part of the sanitary school.
Sanitary
oh
squad.
Man, he was the judge. He was the executor, man. He was everything.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah. But it's not gonna. It's gonna be so much that the government's not gonna always want to do that. Let alone you people. You're not gonna be sitting up burning your dead. Shit, most of you people not even gonna bury them. Most of you gonna eat them,
bruh.
It says to waste thy houses with destruction and death. So that's the reason why the Lord is doing this. The plagues are sent out to destroy the wicked.
That's right.
And ain't none of this happening for no reason. No matter if little Timmy dies, Big Mama. Do it for Big Mama. Well, Big Mama about to die and fry, man. Because she led her life in wickedness, and she helped persuade the rest of y'all to do so. Telling y'all that, it don't matter what's in this, I'm going to follow after this, man. I don't care what's in it. Well, guess what? Now you starving, Big Mama. This man didn't care about y'all. He made this. Esau set up legislatures and plans just to get rid of not only Israel, but Israel mainly, but everybody, man. He was trying to get rid of a lot of people, man. Ain't no way that he set up a famine for the benefit of you. This famine was strategic, man. Mm-hmm. How is it that you can't even collect rainwater, which is raining right now, ironically, and you can't really grow your own crops? You have to have a certain portion, You can't have too much in your yard, otherwise the government can come seize and take your shit. You have to have licensing, and then you can't even get licensing like that. You have to go through basically a lot of bullshit.
It's a whole procedure.
Yeah, it's a whole procedure, especially when it comes to Jake, man.
Then you got to get approved.
Yep.
There's so many things, man. That's wicked. That goes into Isaiah 10:1. With those wicked laws. Those decrees that they push forth. Hey, but that's how he basically destroys wonderfully, though. This man has destroyed more people through that pen and paper than the actual sword.
Yep.
But is that it?
Pen is mightier than the sword.
Yep. Is that it though?
Yeah, kind of.
You got anything else?
Uh,
Probably just end it off, right? I just want to read another.
yeah. It's a little bit more.
Oh, con, yeah.
It says, "And the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower. The heat shall arise that is sent over thee." You know, the burning of this place, man. You know, first the plagues, then the nukes, and that's it, man. The glory of this place is being dried up. And first it starts with the grass of the field, which is you people. And it says, "Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastised with wounds."
And if you when you've been beaten, you ain't moving good. Like, go watch some of those, intense boxing matches or UFC fights. I'm talking about the ones that go, all the rounds, and they've just been, clobbering each other. Well, look at them fighters, man. Sometimes they gotta, have a stretcher get pulled out because they can't even walk.
Right. "So that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive thee." Damn, that's gonna be looking ugly out here, man. The Lord is about to bring this place down, man. That all the guys that y'all called upon, the heathen, they're not gonna be able to save you in that time, man. "Would I with jealousy have so proceeded against thee, saith the Lord? If thou hast not always slain my chosen, exalting the stroke of thine hands," which goes also into Esau, but also the 2/3 of you people are responsible for killing the prophets, man, "and saying over their dead when thou was drunken, set forth the beauty of thy countenance. The reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom," which this is talking about the nation of America. "Therefore shalt thou receive recompense." So all this is happening because of all the righteous blood that's been spilled from the beginning of time, man. And once again, this place is responsible for a lot of wickedness, a lot of witchcraft. That's the reason why Esau is going to end. It's going to go out with a lot of witchcraft, man. Because a part of killing off and slaying half of humanity with famines and with sword and all these plagues that are being sent out, Esau's doing witchcraft to basically have a great reset, man. That's what it is. He's going to sacrifice a large portion of people to have his great reset so that he can start over, man.
Yep. Is there anything else? Yep. So, we're going to end it off, and hopefully that was edifying. And as always, we're going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Rakar Kodash. Also, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and salutations to you brothers out there. Shalom.
Shalom.